to Quick Constructed. Hello and welcome to another MTG Arena Quick Draft. Since last recording, I've done a whole bunch of these, learning the format since I didn't actually play Hour of Devastation draft much when it was the thing to be doing in Magic. And I have been having a lot of fun. I think my unpopular opinion is that in Magic, in Limited, drafting is the fun part of the experience, and playing the draft games is kind of whatever. The gameplay isn't usually that interesting compared to Constructed. But Quick Draft kind of fixes that, because at the very most you're going to play 9 games total, which I suppose is the same for a normal 8-man, but it just moves along really quickly with the best of one format, even if that isn't ideal for competitiveness. So, looking at this pack, here are what R&D calls, like, marker or flag uncommons. They're 2-color, they're usually reasonably powerful, and they tell you to go in a certain way. You should draft blue-red spells, or red-white exert, or something like that. The problem is that, like, these are nice to give you direction if you don't know what to do, but they lock you into a strategy kind of hard, or else you might end up not using them. So I'm not super in love with that. I think last time we opened Adorned Pouncer, this card's okay. I think, if anything, this would also sort of lock me into 2 colors, because I would probably like it in green, where you have lots of ways to pump it up and make it bigger, but not super in love with that. I think I'm just going to take the Torment of Venom. This card's great. Okay, we have not a great pack. This guy's kind of weird. Like, he's undercosted, and as long as you're casting non-creature spells every turn, he's gonna stay a 5-mana, or 4-mana 5/5, which is really big. I don't know how reliably that happens, though. I don't know how many spells you need to make this work, and it's not like the payoff is the greatest thing ever. He doesn't have any abilities or evasion or anything. So, maybe. I think if I were going to pick a red card, I would take the safer one with Puncturing Blow. This card's really good. Premium removal. But I think Puncturing Blow is maybe a tiny bit better than Torment of Venom, but I already have a Torment of Venom, and so I think that pushes it over the edge that I want to take the black card. Here we have... Well, I almost wish I would taken some green card, because Bitterbow Sharpshooters is sweet. I like that card a lot. These packs are kind of whatever. This guy is actually not bad if you're playing, like, black-white zombies. He's pretty reliably attacking as a 3/3 for 2. I don't know if I'm going to be zombies yet. I don't have any reason to be. So I'll probably just take a 3rd Torment of Venom, kill all my opponent's stuff. Okay. This draft is apparently going to make me ask how many is too many, and I don't know the answer. In my opinion, it's hard to have too much removal in Limited, and this card is just so good, especially in multiples, because the thing is, like, the secondary ability after the neg1 counters is not why you play this card, but it does add up. It pressures all their resources, like, you're either doming them for a bunch of life, or they're discarding cards, or they're sacking non-land permanents, and, like, usually once or twice isn't that big of a deal, but once you hit them with this effect a bunch of times, it's really going to cripple them in a lot of other ways. Okay, here is where I think I should make a decision, because this card is mediocre in anything but a dedicated cycling deck. 3-mana 2/3s are so, but a 3-mana 4/3 is okay. I usually want, like, 1 Carrion Screecher, but I'm not gonna pick it this early. I usually want, like, 1 Scrounger of Souls, because they can stabilize the board if you're falling behind. What I'm actually gonna take is this Solitary Camel. 3 mana for 3/2 lifelink is, like, really solid. Okay, so here I regret all of my life choices. I wish I were green for either this Sidewinder Naga or the Desert of the Indomitable. I wish I were red for this Blur of Blades. But I think I'm just gonna take this guy. He's decent. I'm not in love with the packs that I'm seeing in this draft. I got a lot of Tormenta Venoms and not that much else. I guess I take this. I might actually be getting overloaded on removal at this point. Okay. Wretched Camel is solid. I like to have a lot of 2-drops in this format, especially in black. But I think I want to start picking up the deserts because I think I'll be able to get camels and or at least other 2-drops if I want them. We don't have that much longer to get the wealth of deserts to really make like solitary camel work. So I'm going to take that. Could take Sandblast. At this point, I think that would be just like glutted on removal. 6 kill spells. And one of them just being okay is not in love with that. Probably actually just going to take Disposal Mummy. I just talked down 3 mana 2/3s, but the zombie creature type is much better than the Minotaur one. Okay, I don't love most of this here, but getting a Desert of the True is nice. Okay, and now I've picked up a Disposal Mummy and another zombie over here, and I'm in black-white, which is very likely to be, like, have at least a significant zombie theme, so now I like Mummy Paramount a lot more. Oh, and now I can take that Carrion Screecher I was talking about. And there's another Carrion Screecher, probably not going to play both of them. Okay, what do we have here? Again, I don't think I need 5 Torment of Venom. That's just asking for my deck to be really clunky and awkward. Champion of Wits is a cool card, but I'm not going to splash for it. I think the pick here is between Solitary Camel and Wretched Camel. Wretched Camel would help me keep my deck low to the ground and lean and efficient, but I think this card's a lot better. So I'm going to take that. Man, I suddenly wish I were green. Ambuscade is insane. This card is nuts. I think it's the best common in Hour of Devastation. It's just so very powerful. I don't love a lot of this pack. I'm probably just going to pick up another desert, or do I take a 3rd camel? It becomes really easy to race when you have a lot of solitary camels. I'll take one of those. I might regret that. Here... Again, I don't love what's going on here. Could take a Traveler's Amulet, make sure my mana's good, but I'm probably only going to be 2-color. Man, I even considered taking Ambuscade and splashing it, which would have made this awesome. But, probably just going to take another Disposal Mummy. But then that leaves me really clumped on 3-drops. I'm going to take the Traveler's Amulet. Maybe I don't play it, but maybe I decide to splash it. Okay. Again, Mummy Paramount is okay, but Shafet Dunes is sweet. It's another desert, so it helps me with all these stupid camels, and it turns these into value, because sometimes, like, you play one of these early and then you wish you'd held on to it to cycle, but if I can turn that into damage later in the game, that's just great. Again, continue to regret all my life choices as we see great red cards. Probably just going to take another Bone Slasher. I think 4 camels is probably too much. I'm going to take another desert. I think this guy's actually good. He's a zombie, which is a relevant creature type. Afflict means you can punch things through. And even if you don't want to discard a bunch of cards to him, just the threat of doing so can make combat really awkward for your opponent. Okay. Probably, again, don't want the 5th Torment of Venom, but I do like Kenra Eternal, so that was a nice pickup this late. And the Wretched Camel came back. Sweet. Maybe I play this? Probably not gonna play that. I could see myself playing that card. So many Carrion Screechers. Bitterbuff Sharpshooter's 14th is insulting. Let's see here. Only 1 white card. It's not... Normally this would be a good card, but like I said, 1 Lethal Sting and 4 Torment of Venom is probably enough removal. Probably don't want Compulsory Rest. I think I'm going to take the Cartouche of Solidarity. This card is very solid, especially with, like, the types of cards that you just want to be beating down with. Like, it can be very difficult to block in this format. Here... So, whenever this set was being actively drafted, I remember people, like, making jokes about how bad Trespasser's Curse was, but that card kept kicking my butt in early drafts. It would be good for, like, a 16-point life swing every game. It was kind of gross. So, I could take Unwavering Initiate. This is a solid value card. 3 mana, 3/2 Vigilance is whatever, but you can get it back. That's great. I think, though, I'm going to take Inoketra's name. I have tons of zombies, and so... This is 2 mana for +2/+1 to, like, my whole team at instant speed. That sounds great. Perfect. This is the payoff I was looking for. We even have some other decent stuff here, but the Zombie Lord is exactly what you hope for. Second Vizier of Remedies was opened. That's interesting. Oh, I guess that's only an uncommon. I thought it was a rare. Seraph of the Suns could be okay. Like, lots of times you're just going to play this and the game is sort of over because flying indestructible giant thing is ridiculous. I would like Sparring Mummy more if I had a bunch of Exert guys, but the zombie deck doesn't really do that. I might not even play this if it looks like my deck is too clunky, but I don't think I'm going to play those other cards, so I'm going to pick it up. This is the card more than anything else that I'm so torn on, because sometimes it just feels like the most ridiculous thing in the entire world, but every time I draw it, I just like the cards in my hand, and I really, really don't want to cast it. So, might be greedy, but I think I'm actually going to take the Soul Stinger. It's going to make my curve a little more awkward, but this is just a really solid value card. You can usually work a 2-for-1 in with it. Here, I've got that Traveler's Amulet, and I'm, like, don't have very many double symbols outside of these Torments, so I think I can probably actually work a Cradle of the Accursed into my deck. I don't hate that. Yeah. This card's pretty good. It would be better if I had neg1 counter synergies, like Banewit Punisher or a Hapatra or something like that, but I don't. Mighty Leap is a fine trick. I only have one trick. Kenyan Slew is a dual land. How much do I value filling out my MTG Arena collection? Not that much. I'm gonna pick the Mighty Leap. Okay. This card is sweet, but I can't really cast the second half. Bantu's Monument is makes my guys cheaper, and the drain does add up. I'm considering this more than usual because of the quad Torment of Venom. I think that, like, nickel and diming them, if this is 7 or 8 life swing, that would be good enough, but I don't love it. I don't love any of these other cards, though. Yeah. Take this, probably not going to play it. This is another fine trick, especially some of these cards have ETB effects. I have not loved this last pack. Yeah, sure. Sideboard card. Whew. Okay. 47, so I need 7 cuts. It kind of annoys me, so I like that other layout while I'm drafting, so that I can have all the cards that I'm considering drafting nice and big, but I hate it for actually building the deck. It's so much nicer to be able to see your curve laid out for you. Okay, so yeah, my 3-drops are really clumped even after I cut all these things that I didn't actually want to play, so I'll probably be looking to cut from here. Lots of camels is good. I got around as many deserts as I would have liked, so that's cool. Let's see, they have me at 8/8, and the colorless land? Yeah, it's probably pretty good. Yeah, I just really don't love this card. It costs, like, when you cast this card, you're probably gonna win, but leaning on your 7 mana Weird Angel is just not really where I want to be. let's see here. I don't really love Disposal Mummy. You can incidentally get value, but it's whatever. I don't like Dune Beetle. Mighty Leap is fine. Let's see, we are at 24, 25, 33, 38, so I need one more cut. Traveler's Amulet is iffy. It's kind of asking to flood out because it means that I'm playing 18 cards that don't do anything but make mana. But stumbling and dying is a lot of an easier way to die in this format than having too much land. So, might actually cut the Scrounger of Souls. I think this effect is less valuable than usual because I have the triple camel. I'm going to be able to gain a lot of life back if I want to. So, when in doubt, cut the clunky expensive card. I don't love this deck. This certainly isn't my favorite. Even Black-White Zombies deck I've drafted, I would kill for a Wayward Servant or something like that. But that isn't how it played out, so here we go. Yeah, I don't have white mana, but I have, like, a solid beatdown curve, and if I do hit white mana, my opponent will probably just die. So, now I'll proceed to draw every white card in my deck. Specifically camels, without hitting a desert. Yep. Okay. See if opponent's doing anything. Okay. Oh my god. If I were just trying to force this guy through, like if they'd played a 2-1 or something, I would play the Lord of the Accursed. But it's more efficient overall if I lead with the Minotaur zombie. And then the Lord of the Accursed can buff both of them next turn. Okay. What does the second side do again? Mind Rot? Okay, whatever. Alright, it's kind of a weird choice. Okay, I have managed to draw 3 uncastable cards in a row. That's fine. Now I am going to play the Lord because now he can't block. Well, he could, but it's a very bad idea. Any land here, and we're going to really be able to effectively apply pressure. A white source especially could let us start doing stuff. That is a scary card. Okay. So... Wow. I like talked that card down, and now it's gonna kick my butt. I'm gonna attack here because I can Torment, Shrink, and kill it with the Kenra or the Lord. And if he doesn't do anything, I'm just gonna try to race. I'm already ahead on life and my board's good, and then I can play the Bone Slasher and the Shame second main phase Cartouche. Yep. My opponent is kind of priced into blocking here, but it ends very badly for him because he did. This card is great. Even if it's not like a true kill spell, like in Ixalan we have Impale, 4 mana, just kill something. This is still awesome because it deals 2 less damage, but then nugged him for 3. So like it was just better than destroy target creature because of how the turn played out. Yep, they have a Drake, that's fine. So, I could, again, attack and then try to use a trick to force, or to kill his thing, or whatever, but that doesn't use my mana efficiently, because now I've got 4 white cards and only 1 white source. So, I can't, that's not really effective in getting things done. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the Cartouche of Solidarity here. So now, again, his blocks are bad, but I'm also going to be able to play the Minotaur zombie. So this uses all my mana and still is forcing through a lot of damage. So this is kind of exactly where I want to be. This one. Okay. I think... Yep, I'm still in combat. This is really deceptive because it says end turn, but it actually means end combat. And multiple times I've thought that this specific bug was happening, and I clicked through my turn and just didn't do anything, and it was really irritating. Yeah, now my opponent is in a lot of trouble, because I can send in with everything, and this is going to mean that, like, I have multiple lethal threats, and his blocks... Huh. Do I want to send in with everything? I don't think I do. I think I actually want to activate Lord of the Accursed. Because now these guys will be hard to block. And if he double blocks, I can threaten to make things very bad for him. I know that he has Consign, and so I do need to be a little careful of getting blown out mid-combat, but yep. Whatever, he bounced my guy. Okay. Now the question is, does he have another spell? I don't think... Because if he doesn't, then I'll just be... Well, no, because this guy doesn't have First Strike, and so actually another spell... He doesn't need another spell to make things bad for me. He can... like, I can't even kill both of these things as he kills my Minotaur, so I'm actually not going to attack. This guy... Which one do I want down? This is an interesting question. I'm probably going to be able to cast this and another spell this turn, whereas I would not be able to do that with the Camel. So I'm going to cast the Camel. My opponent's done a decent job of stabilizing here, but I have a huge life total advantage. I think my board's a little better, and we have equal numbers of cards in hand. So, if he Oblivions me here, that would be kind of sad, but I think I can still just attack. Okay. Do I have him dead? I do. Was a very aggressive attack from my opponent. And it got them killed. Don't attack with all your guys when your opponent has multiple creatures and you're at 5. Like, I didn't even need specifically my Anthem pump there. Like, if I just used the Mighty Leap, that would have killed him too. Like, any trick. Black and white both have multiple tricks in this format that just kill him there, so... Yeah, not recommended to be quite that aggressive. Okay. Is this the opposite of last time? Ugh. I even really like this hand because I've got, like, deserts, so I'm going to be able to cash these in for value later if I flood out. I have the 2-drop, I've got a Camel, which is great to stabilize if I draw any land. I'm going to keep. I might die for this, but I think this hand has enough going on that even if I stumble for a while, not only will I be able to survive, but my hand will still be good. And that's an important distinction. If you have a hand that says, okay, if I draw one land, I get to play it all, that's not great. But when drawing lands puts you in a spot where you're actually, like, good, like, this was not a great draw. I'm wondering if I'm even supposed to play it. Because it enables Camel next turn, but doesn't enable anything else in my hand. I almost want to cycle it and dig for a black source. It's probably greedy, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway. And I am gonna cycle main phase because I have black sources, including a monument of, or desert of the glorified. That's what it's called, the black one. This is, I admit that this looks very foolish. Cycle desert, proceed to miss land drop, probably lose while I don't hit land drops. Okay. Opponent's got a lot of colors, and they're getting aggressive. Okay. I deserve this. I acknowledge that I deserve this. But even as I say that, like, if we start hitting land drops, we're still not dead. We still have stuff to do. The problem is, when your opponent plays Beneath the Sands and Naga Vitalist, the odds are that they are planning to do something big and scary. Oh my god. It's ramping up. Oh my. Okay, now we're actually playing, which is sick. I think I'm about to have illustrated to me why this card is not always as good as a straight kill spell, because they're probably about to start playing giant monsters that are just unbeatable. So, this gets through the most damage. This also uses my mana well, but is likely to be invalidated as the board goes on. This plays better into a Lord of the Accursed next turn, but doesn't use my mana, so I'm gonna Lord. Get in for 6 here, which is a lot of damage. And Lord of the Accursed does threaten to punch through for a lot, because Menace can be awkward, especially with, like, the Carrion Screecher. The suspense is killing me. And even if they play... It depends on what they play. If I can hit a land drop, I might even be okay. Like, even a Greater Sandworm, the 7/7 for 7 that's hard to block. Okay, that card's really annoying. That card is also really annoying, oh my. Okay, he did shrink that one, though. So, yes! Okay. So, what's gonna happen here is they're probably gonna use their Edifice to tap down my Mummy Paramount. And so, what'll happen, or not tap it down, but say it can't attack. But they'll have to tap their Vitalist. So if I Torment this Plague Belcher, it's dead. Do I have to do that, though? I have double black and a lot of spells to do, and Supernatural Stamina to, like, trade here is a little sad, but something tells me they'll take advantage of getting to eat the Lord of the Accursed. So I bet I can Supernatural Stamina the Lord and then play another spell, which is awesome. Yep, resolves, combat, attack with everybody, and even if he does block here, trading Stamina and the Warrior for this isn't bad. Okay, this is what I wanted. Supernatural Stamina. This card's sweet. The +2/+0 is really nice for just punching through the last few points of damage. Now this is where things start getting really scary for them. Their health total is getting kind of low. I have an Afflict creature. I can threaten to give my guys Menace. This Edifice is taxing their mana, so it will be difficult to play optimally and still keep my creatures from attacking. We'll see. This game is not over, but that is both good and bad, because it looked like I was just going to get shut out. Okay. Kill this, very cleanly answers, pressures his resources, pressures their resources some more, and will let me attack for a lot of damage. Even if Edifice is used on my Mummy, that means I punch through for 6, which is a lot. The other option was to say let them stop Mummy and then just attack with Kenra and offer the trade, which still gets a little bit of damage through, because then I could play this Carrion Screecher in my second main, but that doesn't get the damage through as effectively. Oh, they don't have to use the Vitalist, so they can block Warrior. That's a little sad. Can't get in for quite as much damage as I was hoping for, but whatever. Okay. That makes my life a lot harder.
I've been recruiting.
This is like the most unbeatable card in the whole format. I would rather stare down a Scarab God right now. Okay, if I can hit one of my 3 remaining Torments... that isn't it. Oh, this is so bad for me. I think I'm gonna have to throw away my Lord of the Accursed here, because I have to get this off the table. It is going to bury me if I don't. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to my combat. My opponent is going to Edifice my Mummy Paramount. Then I can attack both of my creatures at Liliana, but that doesn't even guarantee killing her. Oh, this is so very bad for me. Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble now. And my mana is not quite working out so that I could cast more than one spell. It's probably my best bet to send Kenra and Warrior at Liliana, and then play the Carrion Screecher, hope they trade with Kenra so that I can pressure Liliana in the air. Oh, this is so very bad. This is so very bad for me. Yep, use the Edifice. Resolves. Attacks. Attack Liliana. And I don't want to attack with my Lord, even if that would guarantee some damage onto the Liliana. It's so bad because it makes my Kenra worse. Kenra can no longer eat 2/2s and stuff. Okay, this is what I was hoping for. I lost my Warrior, but killed their Aven. Liliana can't resurrect another creature, and so now I'm very likely to be able to pressure Liliana down. Of course, they can start just using the Edifice on my Carrion Screecher. I am very, very likely to lose the game to this card. She is so ridiculous. When I said that I would rather face down the Scarab God than Liliana Death's Majesty, that didn't mean that I wanted both of them. Is there any universe in which I win this game now? No. No, I'm dead. That's... because they have the Edifice, so my Carrion Screecher is never ever getting through, and my only hope was to threaten with the Carrion Screecher. The Edifice has to handle that, and then I apply enough creatures to the board that I can pressure Liliana. But with the Scarab God and Liliana in play, that was never happening in a million years. Oh my god. Probably the 2 best cards in the whole format, plus an Edifice of Authority. That deck was unreal. But it's fine. Everything's fine. It's gonna be great. And hey, if I get my butt kicked more and have to start over, that just means that we get back into drafting quickly. This sounds great. One thing I will say, and obviously I don't know what was in my opponent's deck, but I kind of question how many colors they were playing, because the thing about that deck is that deck had so many very, very good cards. But if you think about what they were, there was the Scarab God, which is blue and black. Okay. I wish I had a zombie to play here to force this through, but I'm probably just going to play a swamp and attack. This card can be really annoying with exert creatures, and I don't want to lose to, let's see, turn MTG Arena down just a little bit, because that music was very loud. I don't want to lose to them playing some ridiculous exert creature and just doing that, so I'm fine with a trade here. Oh, but back to my opponent's deck. Liliana is mono black, the Scarab God is blue black, and the Edifice of Authority is colorless. So I don't know if they started their draft green and changed their mind as the draft went on, or how exactly that worked out, but it just seems like they probably made their deck not as reliable as it could have been without reason to. Like, if they started black, they probably didn't need to be playing green and white. I could Lord here, that punches through more damage, or I could threaten Torment. I think I am going to play the Lord, and it would be more mana efficient to play one of these, but I think I'm going to be able to cycle both of those this game. My curve doesn't go above 4. Let's see what my opponent wants to do. This is the spot that I like to be in. This is scary. They might just flood the board in small creatures that I can't deal with. But if they play anything medium-sized, Torment of Venom is going to make it very difficult for them to block. And I'll just be able to keep forcing through damage. Okay. First strike creature. This is mostly good for them. It's going to get through some damage and hold back as a 3/2 first strike blocker. Which is very powerful against what I'm doing. Hopefully they don't have anything, and Torment of Venom just means that I will kill this, have to fight through these guys, but that's not really that important. They left up a lot of mana though, so they might have a counter, some kind of trick or something. Something bad for me. Okay. I'm at least getting through that, and as I said, this is why I like to be so aggressive with these Torment of Venom decks, because if I weren't attacking much... Okay, that was actually clever. What they did there is they had to sacrifice another non-land permanent to my Torment of Venom, and they sacked the cartouche that was about to go away anyway, and so they didn't actually lose much. Yeah, if I were not attacking, if I were just using other removal, my opponent would be at 20, and things like Torment of Venom, they just pay some life, and they don't really care. Okay. Was a little unsure about attacking with Lord of the Accursed here, because if they had like a Mighty Leap, I could lose my Lord, and that would be very sad. Okay. Now my opponent really needs something, or this is going to go very badly for them. Okay, they had an extra land. They might be flooding out a bit. Okay, now they are down to 1. Even if I had played these out, I wouldn't have enough mana to be double spelling, so I'm going to continue to hold them. This game is extremely unlikely to go to a place where I need to cycle a bunch of lands to find stuff to do, but... Okay, and... Oh. This is a combo, but they were still dead on board, so... Okay, 2 and 1. Moving right along. I suppose I should have attempted to re-roll that quest for cast red and green spells, but Who knows, maybe I'll draft red and green later today or something like that. Opponent goes first. So in real life, the player who goes first does make their mulligan decision before the other player does, but at least I'm allowed to look at my hand. Like, at least I could be thinking while they're thinking. This hand is awesome. These are the hands that are why I drafted the deck the way I did. Do I have any bombs? I don't even think I have any uncommons. Yep. This is an all-common hand, but this is exactly what I want to see. Probably going to hold this for a little while. I don't think it matters which one I lead on. I have double black, but no double white, so yeah, I do want to play this. Stalwart, sure. Sweet. And now I get to play my camel. And this is great because, so, if my opponent has to exert their Ronas Stalwart, that means that it will deal 3 and then 0 damage for a total of 3, because it won't untap next turn. Whereas, if I get to attack twice, I deal 2 and 2 for a total of 4. So, even though this lets them attack without having to trade for my camel, it doesn't actually help them get through a lot of damage. Which is cool for me. So, I'm probably going to end up having to play this desert. I haven't drawn another land, but I have multiple 3-drops, so that's fine. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to go to my attacks. I'm going to attack with the camel. Because on the current board, I'm not really winning races, but it's going to be very difficult for my opponent to race this, especially if I stick a cartouche on it at some point. And I know that I'm the double Torment of Venom deck. I know that I'm going to be able to pressure this game towards ending. Now this is interesting. This makes me almost wish I'd played the Bone Slasher. I suppose I could have predicted that my opponent would attack, but I'm just gonna take it. I don't want to trade. They don't have a desert, so this doesn't even have trample or anything. But I have my sweet lifelink camel, so if they like play a 4/4 here, or that, whatever, yeah. So this is very inefficient use of my mana, but it is going to make my opponent's life difficult. Now I can leave the Wretched Camel back. Even if this exerts, the camel can still trade with the Sidewinder Naga, which is not what my opponent wants it to happen, since then they'll have to discard a card. But meanwhile, it is just not really possible to race me effectively. Especially since I'm going to be doing this every turn for the rest of the game. And right on time. Okay. Alright, and this is extra bad for my opponent. So on the board, they can threaten decent blocks, like double block here, or something like that. Or, no they can't even, because this has first strike. Basically, combat is going to be extremely difficult for my opponent. Oh no, don't sandblast me. Don't do it. Ah! Well, they got me. I wish I had my camel back. Loggers, damage. Yeah, I'll play my zombie thing. I'm sad. There's not really a way to play around that. Like, I was gonna attack or block eventually. They were gonna get their sandblast value. Okay, this only activates as a sorcery, so... Man, now I really wish I had held on to these. So, one of my options here, and actually what I think I'm going to do, is I'm just going to Torment that. Because now I can attack with the camel too. I'm ahead in the race, and I'm going to continue to stand with all these Torments. Yeah, they paid 3 more. So now they're... even if they are threatening to attack me for more... Like, I am making progress. Their life total's half mine. Okay, looks like they're a little flooded. Probably should have considered discarding to the other Torment then. blocks. It's fine. Ooh, and now I can double spell. Okay, combat, attacks. I'm attacking for more because they traded their 4-2 for my 3-3. And I can just pass. I don't need to do anything here. The only reason... Well, there's that green trick that gives hexproof. And that could mess me up if I try to torment. But they had green up anyway. So yeah. And I've got a torment to spare, so even if they had that... Oh yeah, this is really bad for them. Everybody attack. Yep. Little unfortunate for my opponent. It flooded out pretty badly. They might have been able to mitigate that with trading a little more effectively, but it's hard to say. They didn't have a whole lot of resources to work with. Have like all of my non-creature, non-removal cards. I think I still keep this. The mana works, I have a creature, I've got stuff to do. This hand is not my favorite though. Hopefully draw Camel or a Kenra Eternal or something like that. Oh, this card's so gross. Oh, that's really painful. Ew. Really wish I hadn't played that, but no way to have known. Suppose this means I'll be able to get a swamp so I can cash in my Cradle of the Accursed, get a zombie, but this is not the 4 mana play that I'm really hoping for. Combat. Attacks. Gonna tap my guy. Yep. This card is miserable. There really isn't anything else to say about it. I will play my Cradle, play Traveler's Amulet, and turn. I could use my mana more effectively by putting the Cartouche here, but I don't know that I want to do that. Maybe I did. Especially with this ability, I probably was going to be attacking with this eventually. Okay. Crack it. Get my swamp. My turn. This one I will hold on to cycle, because even cracking this, I have 4 lands. My curve doesn't go above 4. No, I'll go ahead. Maybe they have a black removal spell to make me lose value here, but whatever. I can get 2 for 1 once in a while, that's fine. They're probably... I figured they would let it happen because they have the Fanbearer. Got my guy. End turn. And I'm gonna let them play out their turn because they're probably going to play suboptimally, assuming... Or not. Okay, sometimes you're just very wrong. Still gonna get rid of the Fanbearer here. My Merciless Eternal beats this in combat just on the board. Hell, I could even attack with the Warrior too and threaten to trade stamina for their Aven. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, combat, attacks, I'll attack. Yep, they're scared. So... let's see. I can crack this, leaving up supernatural stamina in case they try to kill my guy. Get the extra body on the board. I think I like that. Okay, hold on. Need to make sure that this doesn't tap for me poorly. Oh, I'm still in combat. That's why I couldn't play my land. Is there a way to undo that? Oh, please. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's really frustrating. The end turn bug is wearing on my patience. Oh, that's a good card. Combat, attackers. Yeah, they can probably afford to start pressuring me that way. Okay. Got for white. Oh, let's cycle this. Okay. This time I'm not going to attack with this because I don't want to use a card to trade here. That kind of sucks. This might have even been greedy. It's possible I'm supposed to just play defense, hold my opponent back. Here, we'll tap for colorless, black, white. Living up both my tricks. Now, the reason I felt okay about attacking here is Soul Stinger is going to be a really good blocker. Yeah, I can take 5. Yeah. That kind of sucks. That was... I don't really have anything constructive to say. That's just... I don't really have anything I can do about that, and now I think I'm just going to lose to this Even of Enduring Hope. Use my stamina, but that's like not even good. Yeah, I've had enough of this one. That might like seem like a premature concession, and it probably is. I'm probably 20% to win that game, something like that. Not great, but okay. But the thing about these arena drafts is, or quick drafts in arena, I should say, is they're so fast, and there's so little money on the line, win or lose, and like there's so much value to be gained in just keep playing, play more drafts, get the free pack and stuff like that, that it really encourages me to just not play miserable games and just keep going. And it's pretty sweet. I'm gonna take several damage off this, but I have double camel, so that's fine. Okay, as long as I draw a land, I'm in very good shape this game. Actually gonna play the swamp because I want to make sure that I'll have double black on fort. This is incredibly marginal, by the way, but if I draw plains, I want to play that, and I did not. I wanted to be able to play the plains and avoid taking damage for these creatures. I suppose I would have ended up playing this on 3 anyway for the camels, so it really doesn't matter. Oh man, that card's banned in Standard. Fun fact for anyone on MTG Arena, there is no ban list for the Arena constructed format. So if someone plays a Hazoret, they can still play Ramanat Ruins and kill you, and play Rampaging Frostgun and make your life bad and all of that. Could play this camel and attack for 3 and threaten the trade. The problem is that that's not really a sustainable way to keep getting anything done, and my blocks aren't that good then. I think I would rather play the solitary camels. Threaten blocks. my opponent is playing this format how I like to play it. Hopefully that doesn't mean they have a Torment of Venom for my Solitary Camel, because then the game's just sort of over. It'll be extremely difficult to come back from there. That is only slightly better for me. Yep, now I'm gonna trade here. Okay. Yeah, I could threaten to trade here. I think I'm actually just going to pass. I can Torment of Venom to kill their guy. Okay. You can always hope that they'll, I don't know, play a cartouche or something like that. Okay, now the board is clear. My opponent has a slight life total advantage. Okay, this card is really nasty. Do I play one of my camels, or do I just run back, killing their creature? I could play both camels, and then they don't have a way to attack. Actually, like that. Now, even if they activate this creature on either one of these, they still can't attack because I'm threatening a block with, and I'm fine trading either of these off with this. This card's nasty. And I like this more than just tormenting because it means that I'm building a board presence. Like, here, if I'd used that torment and then they play these guys, and then I play these creatures, like, that's okay, but so now, what I'm going to do is, I'm no longer going to give them the option. I don't want them to activate this and stop my camel here from blocking. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. Not going to play my Desert of the True. I could, to give myself access to double white, to activate Shafet Dunes, but I think I'm very likely to cycle it, and I value the extra card more. Okay. Yeah, sure. Now I'm really glad I got rid of that Javelineer. That card would have been nasty. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this. Okay. I do have another zombie, so this creature can even block. Do I want to play this or hold up these? I think I want to play my zombie Minotaur. Attacks. The board is stalled out. This is a game that could definitely go either way. Oh, maybe I'm even supposed to attack because I've got this camel. And I no longer have a camel. Okay. It's got quite a bit of removal. I suppose that's not really true, but like this card is just sweet. Oh hey, I found another camel. Yeah, I don't think my attacks are actually good. I could... Maybe my attacks are good. Do they have good blocks on this? No, not really. Yeah. Send in with my Bone Slasher. Because my blocks are still very good, and their blocks are very bad. Yeah. Like, unless they have, say, like an Abrade to trade, or to just kill my guy and 2-for-1 me here. Yep. Trade Supernatural Stamina for both of my opponent's creatures. And now I'm definitely going to be able to start attacking. They'll probably try to trade here, and in Oketra's name will blow them out. Or they just don't want to play anymore. Yep. Cool. My opponent had a very good start that game. They were doing powerful things and curved out and killed some of my creatures. But I got to show off why I picked 3 solitary camels very early, because they did a very good job of slowing people down. Again, I wish I could make my mulligan decisions while my opponent was doing it, even if I'm not allowed to lock in until they do. Just, I don't know, let me look at my cards. I was gonna say so I can think about it, but even though I'm missing a desert here, this hand's just great. There's no... In a million years, I would not mulligan this. And it just gets better. Hopefully I draw my Shafet Dunes. That was... Not Shafet Dunes. Oh well. Shafet Dunes would be my best draw here, because it's an untapped desert, so next turn I could Shafet Dunes, Camel, and then both of these are online. If I drew one of my cycling deserts, I would probably still swamp and then like this. Swamp and then I'll do one of my 3-drops and then next turn I can do another 3-drop and then Desert of the True. Okay. Opponent is only showing green mana. They might be missing a color, but that'd be a little weird to cycle your Beneath the Sands when that could have fixed their mana for them. Guess this attacks better once I get some lifelink on it. Get some value. If they play a giant spider, I'll feel dumb, but... Okay, so they already had a way to fix their mana. Cool, and I'll be able to cycle this one. So that's why... Or maybe they didn't have this yet? I don't know. I'm guessing that my opponent's deck is not working exactly according to plan, but then that means that I just don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe that's the punchline. Yep. Crack Evolving Wilds. Reveal your secrets, opponent. White. Okay. Okay. That's a really, really good card. So, if I want to get through the most damage now, I want them to not be able to block with this. But I can probably induce worse blocks if I just attack and then Torment to kill this, like if they just throw one cat under my Solitary Camel. So I think I am willing to sacrifice some damage to improve my board state. Let's see, if they put Caracol here, one there, trying to trade with my whole board, and then I Torment, they still trade with the Camel, but I have a Desert, so it eats a card out of their hand? I think that's good. So... Worst case scenario here is they, like, Caracol here and double Cat on my Camel. Because then I'm just getting through strictly less damage than if I just Tormented pre-combat. That'd be a bit of a weird play, though. Okay, this is about what I expected. And here, like I said, I'm not getting through with the Marauding Bone Slasher, and so I'm losing 3 damage to eat a cat for free. And I think that is worth it. I think that's good enough. This card is very, very good, and so I am lucky to have had a pressure advantage and a removal spell. And like, they kind of 2-for-1'd me because they ate my Torment and my Camel for that, but then Camel's gonna get value anyway, so that's fine. What did they discarded this? Okay. Opponent's got a lot of good cards. I'm just going to attack with this. I don't want to trade Mighty Leap and my Camel for the Sharpshooters. I will just trade Mighty Leap for the Sharpshooters, though. Don't want to play this. Can't play that. So, it is Mummy Paramount time. My opponent might be playing Ramp and giant expensive cards, which is admittedly pretty difficult for me to Think? So what I can do is I can cycle the Desert of the True, play Shafet Dunes, and play Screecher. I could wait to do this, but there's not really a reason to do so. I can hold this. Yeah, I like that. Now they can't play around the fact that I'm gonna get to pump out of nowhere. And I hope that they don't have another one of these, because now I kind of need the Carrion Screecher to go the distance. If I had to guess, I'd say that this is going to be the end of this draft. I think they are... That ain't it. That might be it. Oh my... Yeah, I'm very likely to lose this game. There isn't really a way around that. Sacrifice this Desert of the True. I'm not going to attack with this, just because they can eat it with the 4/4, take 8, trade here, and that's, like, not good for me. Unless my opponent is super flooded and doesn't have anything else going on, which I know isn't true because they didn't play a land last turn, this game is going to be very difficult for me. Like, my board is even a lot better, especially with threatening another Shafet Dunes activation. But all it takes is for them to play one more 4/4, and I'm basically done for. The third Bitterbow Sharpshooters. Oh my. Oh, well, that was the best card I could have possibly drawn. Thank you, deck. This card is no Sakura Tri-Builder. Like, they just haven't had the mana to activate it at any point. It might be a gain, like, 4 life over the course of the game, which is not great. Maybe they'll sack it to this Torment of Venom. Yep. I guess I play this. I've got a bunch more cycling deserts. So sometimes I might need all my mana in a turn to cycle, play something. I don't think it matters much. I suppose I have the guy who has pay 3 mana, discard, and pump him, so maybe I want to be holding on to a single basic land. Combat. I don't think there's much reason to crack this or not to crack it. I don't think it matters. Yep, cool. Not quite threatening lethal, but... I do wonder what is in my opponent's hand, because all they did was play a removal spell this turn. They're probably going to block and then crack this, but... Given how they haven't hit a land drop in a while, they're either holding lands to bluff, or... I don't know, they have 3 Greater Sandworms in hand? I'm not sure. Which, could probably even beat a Greater Sandworm here. I could beat 1, because I can use Lord of the Accursed to give Mummy Paramount Menace. Yeah, that was kind of weird. My opponent did a lot of good stuff, and then just... I had, like, just enough interaction and board presence to get through it, yeah. But then they've completely petered out. And turn here. Yeah, I'm going to attack for 5 and hope that's good enough. Okay, that's a good card. Probably, yep, figured. Now I only hit for 2. That's fine. Now they're down to 3. I can play this, and now next turn I can activate Shafet Dunes, and these are both lethal. So they need to present multiple blockers. An island. And they Beneath the Sands for their second mountain before an island? My opponent's deck has a lot of weird stuff, especially because they have shown neither blue nor red cards. Like, not even a flashback or an aftermath card. Oh, that's very bad for me. Oh, I should have activated this. That was a spew. If I lose by 2 life, you all know why. Let's see. Yep. Going to Eternalize. And now this creature is threatening lethal by itself, but the chip damage from a warrior token might matter, so I'm gonna do this anyway. Do they have something to get? Well, okay then. I think I'm gonna be okay anyway. Because I think Jeru is going to chump, they'll take 2, and now, even if they play... Just go ahead and crack this now, thin out my deck. Thinning is not really statistically relevant, but I don't have... Traveler's Amulet wasn't going to do anything else. So yeah, even if they have a black source for Bolas to kill my Steadfast Sentinel here, the Warrior is going to be able to hit that last damage shot. Cool. Okay. My opponent's deck was very ambitious. There was an unfortunate disconnect between their conservative ramp plan, because play 2 ramp spells into Regal Caracol and Bitterbow Sharpshooters is a very reasonable thing to be doing. Jeru with Eyes Wide Open and Bolas are slightly less reasonable things to be doing. Excuse me. And there was too much of a gap between them. If their curve had been turn 4 Caracol, Sharpshooters, play something huge, they would have been fine. This hand's great. They would have been fine, but they stumbled and didn't do anything for a couple turns. And the Hour of Devastation almost caught them up enough, but their mana was just a little too awkward. Oh my gosh. Waiting for my opponent. Oh, I believe this means that this is a Wizards of the Coast employee. When their name is in... The official Magic term is Mythic Orange. Not a great draw, whatever. Would have loved to have a 2-drop here. I feel like the 3-drops are where you start having good cards, but the 2-drops are what I want, if that makes sense. When I draft, I really just want to have, like, 5 of the Kenra Eternal in my deck. Maybe the Camel. I think I even declined to pick a couple of the Zombie Camel, because I didn't have any deserts yet, but now I have plenty of deserts, so I really wish if I could hit those on turn 2 every game. Oh, that's really gross. 2 mana. 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 2 Okay. Not going to play this. I don't need a 5th land, and I need double black if for a 4th land, so even if I crack this and cycle this, for my 4-drops to really work, I need another black source anyway. So, the most efficient use of my mana is the Carrion Screecher, but I think I'm still just trying to trade and slow this game down a bit. So I am going to play this and play my Camel. And hope that I don't get ambuscated again, because this card is gross. The one problem with ambuscate, of course, would be if, say, I just had a 2-drop and they tried to ambuscate that instead. I could be holding up Torment of Venom right now and blow them out and get the 2-for-1, and everything would be great. I think this card is better than fight-type cards usually are, because this format is so based around curving out. You kind of have to curve out or die. Yeah, that's a good card. What will they do? Okay. Now I can trade with this, though, so I'm gonna do that. Okay. Ew. Okay, this is really painful, but I don't really have a choice here. I can play this and try to trade, but that's just very losing. I think my best bet is to play Traveler's Amulet, crack it, and play the Swamp, and then I can cycle the Desert of the True. Swamp. Go ahead and play the Swamp. And, I don't know, I guess I'll bluff a removal spell or something. Don't think it matters too much. This guy's really good. Even if it's just a 3-mana 4/3 haste, that is a very solid rate. And green and black have a lot of cool synergies with putting neg1 counters on your own creatures. So. Cycling. Okay. Okay, I was just going to hold up Torment and probably kill this, but now I can play both of these, so I'm going to do that. They have a counter? They are blue-green. My last draft, I actually drafted blue-green, and it was powerful. I think I actually got to 7 wins, but I was really not a fan of it because trying to close games was agonizing. Wow. That is a very aggressive cancel. They attack. I might just block trade and hope that I can close the game with my Carrion Screecher. Desperately hope that they don't have Bitterbow Sharpshooters, because that card would single-handedly ruin all my plans. Okay, run us a Stalwart. Sure. I'm going to block, and I might not even play this next turn. I think I'm on the back foot. I have been the whole game, but I've got a decent amount of power to win a game that goes long enough. Maybe that's even arrogant to say, because it's not like my deck is amazing. I don't have a ton of bombs. There isn't Liliana's Mastery, or Liliana's Death's Majesty, or even a bunch of angels or anything like that. Interesting. Working really hard for your divination over there. Now, suddenly my plans change, because now I can Carrion Screecher and leave up Supernatural Stamina. which will probably act as a removal spell. I have to imagine my opponent blocks. And I can block, stamina, kill their creature, and then keep my bird and beat down with that. I even have Torment of Venom for their follow-up. I'm just desperately afraid that they'll slam a Bitterbow Sharpshooters, because then I don't think I'm beating that card. Yeah, I don't get to trade with their Stalwart, but whatever. Main deck is interesting. This really makes me wonder if they don't have any Sharpshooters in their deck, because I don't think I would main deck a, like, what are they called? Main deck, kill that flyer type card if... Plummet, that's the type of card I was thinking of. I don't think I would main deck a Plummet if I have a big fat reach creature. Like, okay. That is a big Sphinx. So, I can play the camel and hold up Inoketra's name, which is probably what I'm going to do, and then, like, trade with their board. Just because, like, Torment isn't actually good. That still only lets me trade here. Ugh. I don't love this. I have been on the back foot this entire game, which is exactly what I don't like to do. I like to be very aggressive. I want to be the one beating down. I want to have 5 Grizzly Bears attack and blow you out with Torment of Venom, not sit here and lose to this big Sphinx with my 3-1 and 3-2. Okay. That's fine. Let's see if we exert here. That is not great for me. So I think my best block is to Inoketra's name, trade, take 6. Alright. Woohoo! Living. Alright. And now, I'm going to do this now. I don't want to get countered or anything like that. If they have some big pump, I just die. Whatever. That's fine. Okay. Ooh. Are they gonna believe for something enormous? That would be fun. And by fun, I mean I would lose horribly, but I have felt bad about this game since that turn 3 ambuscade attack for 4. The fact that I'm even still alive now when they've like played this big Sphinx and played the Crocodile and then used the overrun thing on me. Okay. Oh, that was a really good draw. I'm actually going to do this now because I don't want to forget. Man, I was like The first thing I thought of was I was hoping for a plains so they could activate Shafet Dunes and attack without trading, and this was way better. I wonder if they didn't see a creature in their top 3. Because this card's okay, but I have to imagine free-rolling something would be better. I don't know, though. We'll see. This game is now very close. They need to play something good here, or they're taking a lot of damage. That is not good enough by itself, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because this has vigilance, so it can still threaten to trade with that thing. Or, I suppose it can't, because they'll give it flying, but that's only attacking for 6 by itself? Huh. I don't know if there's a way in Magic Arena to tell if my opponent bottomed or topped on their scry. Didn't really seem to indicate that for me. Okay, so on board I'm taking 6. Any sort of pump spell kills me, because this will give flying to the companion, and I can't block. If they have nothing, I think they're not quite dead on board. A white source puts them dead on board, but if they don't attack here, they're just not winning. I'll gain 4 more, they'll have to trade off their board. Not good. This game is very, very close. I wonder if it's possible to, like, find this person on Twitter. Since they're Wizards employee, I have to imagine they have some sort of account or something. And say, hey, that game we played was insane. Uh-oh. The question is, unless they topped all 3, and even if they did, then I don't think they know what this does. Okay, it wasn't a creature. Oh man, it doesn't reveal, so I don't get to see. So if this is like a giant growth, I'm dead. This cartouche was insane. I didn't even, like, get any trials or anything. Oh, what was that? Oh. Well. Sometimes they have 5 mana random draw and draw a giant growth. Okay. Obviously, I'm sad because I would have liked to win, but that was a really good game either way. So, okay. 5 and 3, not amazing, but the deck wasn't amazing. You guys saw. I didn't open any bombs. I didn't even get a lot of the core uncommons, and my curve wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. Maybe I could have drafted differently, maybe I could have gotten more of the zombie Campbells early, but it was an okay deck. I think I made mostly decent decisions, and we wound up with a winning but not incredible record, so I'll take it. And I will talk to you guys next time.